Hello friends, how are you all? See, already we have completed third B chapter. Now we start with the supply analysis. See, we completed the demand analysis and the elasticity of demand, third A and third B. That means fourth chapter we have already completed. Now the next one is supply analysis. This one also is an important chapter for your exam. Most of the questions are based on this chapter, that is demand, supply, all the chapter second, third and fourth chapter, even third A, third B and fourth. All the chapters are important one because so many questions are asked on this on these chapters, we can say that. Okay, let us start with the supply analysis. See what is meant by supply. The study of supply is an important as the study of demand. Supply is a fundamental economic concept that describes the total amount of a specific good or service that is available to seller. That means whatever the seller wants to sell, there must be a specific goods or service. Okay, it must be available for sale at any specified price is known as supply. That means the goods should be in a finished condition or services also are in such a way that they are ready to sell. Okay, this one is the important one because goods are, it may be possible on particular day, it may be semi finished or it may be in process. These goods are not considered for the supply. Only those goods which have the complete value of the goods in price is known as the supply. Okay, now the concept of total output, stock and supply, all this come under the definition. Okay, total output, see what is given here about the total output. Okay, output is produced in the process of production. Now, total output can be defined as the sum total of the quantity of the commodity produced at a given period of time in the economy. That means total output, it is defined as sum total. That means it is in all. We have to take the sum total, not a single quantity. Okay, of the commodity produced at a given period of time in the economy. Say for example, I can say that in 1 year or we can say in 1 month, what is the production? In that case, that is known as the output. That if a capacity of the machine is to produce 10,000 goods in 1 month, but actual production is going up to 8,000 units only, then the total output is 8,000 units. Okay, I think all of you getting this clear. Now, the stock. Stock is the total quantity of a commodity available for sale with a seller at a particular point of time. It is the source of supply, it is a potential supply. What is meant by stock? It is the total quantity of the commodity available for sale at a particular, एक particular time पे जब sale करना है on the whatever the commodity is available with the seller, then it is termed as a stock. Okay, by increasing the production, stock can be increased. Without stock, supply is not possible. Unless and until we have the stock, there should not be a supply. That means stock, anytime stock can be increased. Just the example whatever I given just now, if I continue with that, if my machine has the capacity to produce 10,000 units. In that case, what is my stock? Right now my stock is only 8,000 units, but it can be increased by 2,000 so that I can fully utilize the capacity of the machine, and therefore the stock can be increased, that is 10,000 units, and then only supply is possible. Okay, see, I think here example is given. With normally stock exceeds supply and it is fixed and inelastic. That means once we can produce the goods, we can keep them as it is or we can store them. That means stock may be equal to supply, but for the perishable goods, because perishable goods we cannot store more than 1 or 2 days, such as milk, fish, etc., stock may be equal to supply. In this case, stock and supply will always be equal. Most of the times they are equal, but for durable goods, it can be possible that stock can exceed the supply. Okay. Now, the supply. Supply is a relative term. Why it is relative? Because it is expressed in relation to price, time and quantity. always whenever we see the supply word, always we have to go through it from the point of view of the seller. Okay, the word supply implies the various quantities of a commodity offered for sale by producers during a given period of time at a given price. Already I told you, supply always refers that the whatever the production is there which is ready for sale at during a given period of time, say it is 1 year or 1 month or 6 months, any time, but period should be maintained. Okay, it is related to time and price. This one is also important because it is related to the time and price. Okay, now, supply is a flow concept and it refers to the amount of a commodity that the firms produce and offer for sale in the market over a period of time, say a day, a week, a month, or a year. Just now I told you about this, that is, supply is a flow concept because always it is related to the time and price. Okay, and therefore the stock can exceed the supply but supply cannot exceed the stock. हम लोग supply उतना ही कर सकते हैं जितना हमारे पास stock है. We cannot go beyond that. Therefore, this point should be remembered. Distinguish between stock and supply. This question may be asked for 2 marks. Yes, 2 marks. You can write 2 to 3 points for that. Okay. Now, I think I should go for the supply schedule and supply curve. According to the Paul Samuelson, supply refers to the relation between the market prices and the amount of goods that producers are willing to supply. Always we think about the supply from the producer side only. That means it is a relation between market price and amount of goods. Amount of goods and market price दोनों को consider किया जाएगा from the point of view of the producer are willing to supply. Producer how much he wants to supply, that is known as the supply. Okay, or we can say how much quantity he want to sell is called the supply. Supply refers to the quantity of a commodity that a seller is willing and able to offer for sale at a given price during a certain period of time. See, this definition is given by Samuelson. You have to write the definition as it is because it is not given by us, it is given by some particular person. You have to write like that only. See, here the example is given. A farmer's total output of rice is 4,000 kgs. This is his total stock. If the price is rupees 40 per kg, he offers 1000 kgs for sale. This is the actual supply. That means he has a stock of 4000 kgs, but right now at particular this price and particular time he want to sell only 1000 kgs for sale. Okay, now see the supply schedule, individual supply schedule. It is just like the demand, individual demand and market demand. Similarly, individual supply schedule and market supply schedule is there. Both curves are the same, but here the main relationship is the direct relationship that when the price increases, supply will also increases. In case of demand, it is vice versa. Lower the price, increase the demand, but lower the price, lower the quantity of a commodity supplied. Okay, that therefore its demand curve slope from right to left. Okay, demand curve slopes downward from right to left. So, sorry, I am mistaken. That the here the supply curve goes downwards from right to left, but demand curve goes from left to right. For individual and market demand, it is just same. So you just go through it. It is very easy. It's the same thing. Whatever we have studied in case of demand, the price is taken on y-axis, quantity supplied on x-axis, and the same schedule is to be maintained. But here one thing should be remembered: as the price goes on increasing, supply will also increase. Okay, I think all of you are clear about this. But I'm ending with my lecture with this individual supply and market supply. Next lecture will be for the next topic. Okay, till then, stay home, stay safe, do study well, and please like and subscribe my channel. Okay, bye.